The Lawgiver. Yep, the Lawgiver. I'm going to title this The Lawgiver. There must be a lawgiver. And the law is given by someone to. Do you get that? The law is given by someone to obey. Obey the law. Obey the law. Morality is very important. Immorality is not good at all. The immoral person lacks wisdom. Yeah. Have you ever? Most of us have, and still never. I'm looking at myself as I make this video, and I am reading and thinking at the same time. I hope you can look and think at the same time. I really do. Morality. There is a lawgiver. There is one Father. That is the Father. One. Just like there was one being that had and was the image of God made of dust. Adam. Called Adam. He called his wife's name Eve. Adam called his wife's name Eve. There must be, and there is, a lawgiver. The first law. I don't know how you can get a itch, when you're trying to do something like this. But it inevitably happens. The lawgiver. One lawgiver. One God. The God. How do you address him? I don't know how you address him. But I can tell you what the law was. The law given by God. I can read it. It's in the book. The law. The first law. The first law given was not in writing. The lawgiver spoke the words to the man. And the man knew that he was subject to the lawgiver. Adam knew that he was subject to the lawgiver. Adam knew it. He didn't have a wife when God gave him the law. It was before Eve. God told Adam something. God said a lot in Genesis chapter 1. And God made animals, male and female. So when God made animals and brought them to Adam to see what Adam would call them, he was bringing them in pairs. God made them male and female. And then, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. God didn't put that in writing. It doesn't need to be in writing today for it to be fulfilled. It doesn't. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed. You can eat it. That's what he said. You can eat it. And you can eat green plants. He has not told Adam that he cannot eat an animal. He hasn't. Because it's pretty obvious that animals were eaten also, unless you have believed the lie. The lie. And God saw all that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. And the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their hosts. One man, heaven and earth completed, and there's one man. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. He did. And this is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created in the day that the Lord God made earth and heaven. So you can say in the day was 6 days. That's what you can say. Now, a mist used to rise from the earth and water the whole surface of the ground. And the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground. Adam, the Lord God formed. That's what he did. And the man, after God breathed into his nostrils, became a living being or soul. There's different words that can be used there. The Lord God planted a garden. The Lord God did it. What is the Lord God doing today? What is the Lord God doing today? He planted the garden, and out of the ground the Lord God caused to grow these things. And a river flowed out of the garden. It did. Matter of fact, several rivers flowed out of the garden. Then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and keep it. That's what it says. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, from any tree of the garden you may eat, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat from it, you will surely die. There's the law. The law was given to Adam. God's rule, God's law. Adam got it from God, heard him speak it himself. And the Lord God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him. The Lord God is going to make for Adam something suitable for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird, and he brought them to see what Adam would call them, to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called a living creature, that was its name. God let Adam name them. And whatever Adam named them, that was their name. And the man gave to all the cattle and to the birds of the sky and to every beast of the field, gave names. But there was no helper found at this time for Adam. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. The Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. He did. And the Lord God, took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh at that place. The Lord God did this. You want to know what the Lord God can do? Pay attention. So you got to do, pay attention. You can find out what the Lord God does. You can, if you pay attention. And closed up the flesh at that place, and the Lord God formed into a woman the rib which he had taken from the man. The Lord God did it. So don't tell me you don't know what the Lord God did if you heard me read this. Because you know, you may not believe it, but you know, because you heard it. And the Lord God fashioned, formed, made the woman. And he had taken from the man and brought her to the man. He didn't bring her to anyone else. He brought her to the man. She was created for the man. She was. And the man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman because she was taken out of..." He could have said me. It's written here, man. Adam must have known he was a man. And for this reason, a man shall leave his father and his mother, and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked, and were not ashamed. The law has been given by God to Adam. Do not eat from this tree. Adam's day turned into a lot of years. It did. Adam lived a long time, but it wasn't long before. They're working, they're living, they're in the garden that God had planted. And the woman was approached by someone other than Adam. And she could hear and probably see who she was talking to. And whoever she was talking to said to her, "Has God said, you shall not eat from any tree of the garden?" See, the devil knows. Whoever she's talking to knows. And I'm sure he's got a pretty good idea that she knows. But he asked her. And she said, "From the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat from it, or touch it, or you will die." That's what it says in the book. Whether that's exactly what she said or not, I don't know. But God had told Adam the law had been given. And it's the law. There's no give and take in the law. But there's the liar. And the liar is fixing to speak to the woman right here. The liar has already spoken to the woman right here. It's in chapter 3. The woman and the liar are together in the garden. And this is what the liar says. The serpent said to the woman, "You surely will not die." Die, lie. Lie. What was the truth? What God had said was true. And he goes on. He's going to tell her about God. He had been around God longer than Eve had been around God. And God knows that in the day that you eat from it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. That was the truth. Partially. But what had God said? What did God said would happen? That was the law. The law could not be broken. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was desirable to make wise. And she took from it and ate. Adam's not standing there. He's not there. She took from it and ate. She took enough from the tree to give some to her husband. The devil, or the serpent, or the one talking to Eve, did not have to eat from that tree. He didn't. But Eve ate, and she gave some to Adam. And the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves loin coverings. They heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God. God was not hiding from them, was he? God is not hidden. Adam and Eve were hiding, but God's not hiding. He's looking for Adam, the keeper, the one who is supposed to tend to his garden. And the Lord God called to the man and said to him, "Where are you?" Adam can hear God calling him. He can. "Where are you?" And Adam said, I can read it right here. He said means Adam said, I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked. So I hid myself. God didn't hide him. He hid himself. And the Lord God said, who told you that you were naked? Nobody. Nobody had told him that he was naked. He had told God, I hid because I was naked. And God just says, have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you not to eat? Why did God ask the question? Because he wanted to know. Why do you ask questions? Why does a child ask questions? Is it because they want to know? Probably so. And the man said, the woman, she gave me from the tree, and I ate. Simple enough. Simple enough. He's not lying. He's telling God the truth. And the Lord God said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman said, I was deceived. Not by God, not by Adam, but by the devil. It says here, the serpent. Now you can read that ever how you want it. It says in my Bible right here, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. Adam did not deceive her. God did not deceive her. But the one whom God is going to address next is the one who had deceived Eve. The Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, cursed are you more than all cattle, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you will go, and dust you will eat all the days of your life. All the days of his life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise you on the head, and you shall bruise him on the heel. And the woman, to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your pain. When you give birth to children. She hadn't had any children, but she's going to. In pain you will bring forth children, yet your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. And then God spoke to Adam. Cursed is the ground. Cursed is the ground